When you look at the Sahara today, you see the second largest hot desert on Earth. Endless sand, no water, almost no life. But 10,000 years ago, where you see nothing but dunes, your ancestors saw lakes, rivers, grasslands stretching for thousands of miles, fish so abundant that people built entire civilizations around catching them. And then, in the span of a few centuries, it all vanished. The desert didn't grow slowly. Lakes evaporated, grass died. Millions of people fled, and the Sahara became one of the most hostile places on the planet. But this wasn't an accident. What killed the Green Sahara was written into the mathematics of Earth's orbit. 6,000 years ago, the Sahara looked like the African savanna. Lake Mega Chad covered an area larger than Nevada. Humans thrived. They hunted, they fished, they domesticated cattle, they created art on canyon walls that still survives today. Then something shifted, not gradually. In roughly 300 to 500 years, the system that had sustained millions of people simply shut down. The reason lies in something called orbital wobble. Your planet's axis tilts, and that tilt changes in cycles lasting thousands of years. 9,000 years ago, these cycles aligned perfectly. The monsoons traveled farther inland than ever before. They brought rain deep into what is now the Sahara. It was abundance beyond imagining. But orbital cycles don't stay put. Around 6,000 years ago, the alignment began to break. The monsoons grew weaker, they stopped penetrating inland, the rain retreated, and when rain leaves a landscape, everything collapses in a cascade. Vegetation dies first. Without grass, soil dries. Without moisture, trees cannot grow. Without vegetation, dust storms increase. Dust reflects sunlight back to space, cooling the land, weakening the monsoon further still. One change reinforces the next. It's a feedback loop that locks in. Once the system tips, it doesn't tip back easily. The transition was sharp, not gradual. Scientists studying sediment cores found that precipitation crashed in centuries, not millennia. For humans who had built their entire way of life around these resources, the choice was simple: leave or start. The Nile Valley filled with refugees. Others migrated south. But the Sahara was abandoned. And here's what matters: it never came back. The feedback loops that created the initial tipping point continue to reinforce desert conditions. The Sahara has remained a desert for 6,000 years and counting. This teaches you something crucial about climate systems. They do not change in straight lines. They flip. And once they flip, they lock in. The Green Sahara was not permanent. It was the result of specific orbital conditions that came and went. When they went, everything changed. Your planet is capable of radical transformation, not over millennia, but over centuries. That capacity is written into the mathematics of orbit and climate. 10,000 years ago, it turned a garden into a wasteland. The only question now is whether you will recognize how quickly it can change.